All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Kids on the Slope, episode 8.
All right, last episode was so cathartic, so just satisfying getting to see them play together. Oh, and listen to them. Listen to them.
That was quite the sound. Oh boy.
Oh.
No wonder everyone came running from around the school grounds.
Right.
Yeah. But
and you know, Kaoru, it all worked out.
Yep.
If you'd just been patient. If you just kept your big mouth shut.
That's right.
He was never gonna leave.
Yeah.
No.
You had nothing to worry about. He's a
nothing
good
to
friend.
worry about. A great friend, the best of friends. And you let him down.
You did.
So you got to play together, and this was a big step in that direction. But you guys should have a conversation now. Yeah. Just to, clear things up. Be really good about that. But we've got some other stuff that's kind of just looming in the background. So
June is back, and that hasn't fully been resolved yet.
So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
もうその下に順兄がおらんかどうか見てきてくれんか。
何言ってんだ。夏休みでもないのにどうして順兄さんが。
ああ、お前らがおらんうちにいろいろあってな。
Yeah.
Okay.
先週出て行ったけん今はおらんばって。
Okay.
純一は今年の夏帰ってきてすぐ父親に感動されてな。まあ東京の大学に来たかちゅうて親の反対は押し切って上京したくせに大学にも行かんで政治活動にのめり込んで。
Oh,
gotcha.
家の敷居もまた言語となってしもうてバーでぐでんぐでんになってたところはおいがたまたま見つけてうちでかくまうことにしたっちゅうわけだ。
順兄がここまでで行ったとはおいのせいか。
いや違う。たまたま安く借りられる部屋ば見つけてな。
Okay.
お前のせいじゃなか。
供養するな。そんなのセッションやって吹き飛ばせばいい。
I love the confidence.
Yeah. And the hair change and everything.
なんでこんなところに。
Damn.
待って。無視しないで。どうしてそんなに変わってしまったの。あの冬の日、あの時のあれは何だったのよ。ノックしても出てきてくれないの。
Oh, this is.
初めて会った時もそんな目をしてたな。よく覚えてるよ。
And just cut away.
Yeah.
All right.
すいません。
Guess talking wasn't went on.
小眼とは本人に直接渡した方が。いやー、ダメです。緊張する
けん。俺に？
もう文
You have
化祭のライブ
fangirls,
テストにカオルさんたらモテモテね。
ありがと
うち何ジロジロ見よるっちゃろ。いやらしか。うちは関係なかとに。
りーちゃん。ねえねえ、どっちがよかと思う？マフラーのデザイン、実はね、最近いいなと思ってる人がいて、
Oh no.
その人にあげようかななんて。
Oh my god.
それはまだ。
Yeah, of course, it's Kaoru. Yeah.
りーちゃんは素直に。
Be honest with
Really
yourself.
trying to just suss it out.
Wow.
Because she was also staring at the same person and
ああ、はいはい。すみさんはただの友達やもんね。ちょっとごめん。
Oh, so maybe it's not actually.
yeah, who
Kaoru.
knows? Maybe it's Sentaro.
Yeah.
Oh.
これカオルさんが来たらきっと。
Kind of looks like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It looks like Kaoru. Yeah.
あら、ちょっと待って。どがんしたとうち。なんでドキドキするっちゃろ。
You can hear it.
あれは何だったのかって。お嬢様には少々刺激が強すぎたか。悪かったな。ちょっとからかってみただけだ。どうした？こうして欲しくて部屋に来たんだろう。何を期待した？残念だったな、お嬢様。俺はこういう人間なんだ。
Oh.
こうすれば私が逃げ出すんじゃないかって。
Yeah.
そう
Nice.
思ってるの。
Nice.
私、あなたのことなんて怖くない。
俺はもう昔の
Nice
俺
to
じ
go
ゃ
for
ない。
anger.
大学も辞めたし、家からも感動
But what happened before that?
世の中からあぶれて、もう戻ることもできない人間だ。近づけば君の人生まで台無しになる。
Are the scissors in that shot?
I think she's wanting to give him a haircut. Oh.
何やって。
あなたがお嬢様ってうるさいから、お嬢様に見える私を捨てようと思って。
桂木、俺は生まれ変わるんだ。新しい自分に。
やめろ。
Oh, did he lose someone?
俺なんかのために大事なものを捨てるなんてやめてくれ。
いやあ、君が噂の桂木くんか。
Wait,
どうだ、
this voice
君に一
actor.
発喋っていかないか。
え、俺が
He's from. Is he from Haikyuu? Shoot. I know him. I know him.
お
桂木、お前すごいやつだったんだな。なあ桂木、次の闘争で俺の身に何かあったら一時の間でいいから俺の代理を務めてくれないか。
有田さん、俺はなあ、呪い。
I love the chaotic jazz going on in the background.
桂木、有田さんが捕まった。骨が砕けちゃって、もう
Jeez.
元のようには動かせないって。
Oh my god.
Oh,
まず
shit.
無理だな。
I thought that was for like
Damn.
boxing or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought
no.
too.
Oh.
俺は
So now you lost all the spirit for it. Yeah.
桂
Yeah.
木、
Mm-hmm.
おい、
Yeah.
待て、どこ行くんだ。
But just because you've experienced that loss in the past.
自分のせいで傷つく人間をこれ以上見たくないんだ。
あなたに何があったのかは知らないし、聞くつもりもないわ。でもあなたが深く傷ついてることだけはわかる。私じゃあなたの支えになれない。
Oh, so messy. But I have to admire her effort here.
生意気な女だ。
Because she might be being like, I can save him.
Right,
But
but-
it's also like,
Ugh.
this is the kind of genuine, like, love that might actually save him. Like,
Right, but the thing,
there's no way to tell.
Right.
It's going to just get messy.
and she does not know enough to have boundaries in this.
ねえねえ
I hate those
今の
half,
ユリカ
like,
よね
sneezes where you're like, oh.
先生に呼び出しくらったと
ゆりか最近おかしかとよ。今までのお嬢らしさはどこへやらよ。
なんかあったとやろか。
それが聞いても教えてくれんし。
一体何があったとや、ああ人の身に。
お前の噂の仙太郎か。ジャズ好きか。
Oh, it was so long ago. So
俺も
cool.
順兄みたいにジャズが上手くて強くてかっこよく
Alright.
男になりたくて。
Oh,
おい、先方、
no.
忘れ物だ。お前の女の。順兄からちゃんと話ば聞けば、
Yeah.
おいの中でも何か納得できることがあるかもしれん。順兄、ちょっと話が。ばっかやろ。しまった。あいつにだけは小眼形で知られとうなかった。分かっとった。
Now the image he has of the prince
手が
is
届かんってことぐらい。
is gone as well, you know.
分かっと
Of
っ
the
た。
big brother, it's
Right.
yeah. Oh,
自分がわからん。確かにうちカオルさんと一緒におるとすごく安心できるし楽しかし。うちの好きな人はずっと前から。
okay, let's go. He's got to put out all his emotions.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, let the drums lead. Sure. Try and keep up. Yeah.
何があったんだよ。
It's like
何って
I'm just pissed,
なんだよ。
man.
今日の君はどう見たっておかしいぞ。
Yeah.
言ってみろ。
順兄の部屋に行ったら、あん人がおった。相手がよりによって順兄っちゅうとが一番きつかところやな。
Good. Keep talking about it
もう
though.
ダメばい。
Oh.
What do you gotta do?
君は贅沢だよ。振られたって君のことを思ってくれる人はいるじゃないか。東大元暮らしって言うだろう。 君の灯台は特に光が強すぎてきっと足元なんて真っ暗闇なんだ。
何のことや。
自分で考えろよ。それくらい言ってしまった。
カオルさん、さっき来たばかりとにもう帰ると？
うん、ちょっとね。今日は編み物はおしまい。あいつきっと喜ぶよ。りっちゃん顔赤いよ。図星だった。じゃあね、また明日。
ちょっと。
Drama!
Yep.
繰り返すな。
Confused miscommunication!
No conceal, don't feel. You process.
Yeah.
許さんぞ。そんなどこの馬の骨とも知れな
Oh
い男。
shit. Oh shit.
お前は騙されているんだ。だからユリカ。その
Yeah,
男
this was a
とは
long
二度
time
と会う
ago,
んじゃない。
though. So.
わかったな。
ユリカ、お父さんはね、あなたのことが心配で、
Diffuse,
ああおっしゃってるだけなのよ。ただね、あなたは女の子なんだから、もっと自分のことを大事にしなくちゃならないわ。今度の土曜、開けておいてちょうだいね。婦人科の先生に予約を取っておいたから。
Oh shit!
What?
Oh shit!
What?
To do potentially some form of
Like checking or something?
yeah, to make sure that she's
Still pure.
not then potentially Oh. Oh.
ボーの
Okay.
やつ。
Shit.
一方的に謎かけばして帰りやがって。
Yeah.
思ってくれる人。家族とか。
クリスマス会の生誕劇ではマリア様役やるとってね、さっちゃん。うん。
Oh.
でも自信なか。
姉ちゃん、大きゅうなったらお嫁さんになるとか言うとったばい。
なんで、そがんと昔の話やけん。
Oh, something a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
センタロウね、う
Oh.
ちね、大きゅうなったらセンタロウの。
Oh, he realized it. Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, right as she's developing feelings for Kaoru.
I know. Oh god.
Oh no.
This is.
And she's gonna look back and be like, Sentaro? You know,
Yeah.
something wrong? Oh!
That. Oh, come on. Ah. Like.
Kimi wa mataita. June's coming
Okay.
back into the story.
Yep.
Yurika's getting some more focus here. We have Sentaro also figuring out that, yes, she's liked you all this time.
Yep.
And,
We're just set up for unhappiness all around.
yeah, we're setting up everything for unhappy endings because a lot of this will not go the way that the characters want.
Right.
And yet, it's not the kind of thing where it doesn't have to go that way. There's many ways in which you could deviate course by a few degrees and lots of happy endings could go around, but still, just because they would then get those happy endings doesn't mean that everyone else would. It wouldn't start a domino effect necessarily of moving things in the right direction for the other characters.
But the thing that's so tragic about this, I guess, but it also plays into the whole jazz motif, is that if the timing of a lot of these events had just been shifted by like a few months, it would have been happy endings galore. But because it's not that, because they are not in tune with the emotions of the people around them, basically, something that could have been this wonderful harmony then becomes discordant. It becomes chaotic and messy and oh boy,
and
how is this
show.
going to go? Yep, exactly.
Hence the show, hence jazz. But okay, all right. Yurika has cut her hair. She's going to be staying with June as much as possible. She wants to do what she can to support him.
Yep.
I think that there's an aspect of her princess noble image thing here that might have something to play with it. But I think also her making this decision to be like, no. You guys are not choosing this for me.
Right, this is my life.
I am deciding this. This is my life.
Yep.
I respect that.
And
I think that is a ballsy decision.
Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily want to comment on where the healthiness of the people involved might influence the
that goes
the
down
whole
to
thing
the
in general.
individual. But the thing that's potentially dangerous is that June basically had all these barriers that he was putting up to try and make sure that there were boundaries, and he kind of went excessive with it of just don't interact with me at all, right?
To the point of even being aggressive.
Yeah.
And
right.
Yeah, scaring her a little bit. Yeah.
Doing whatever he could to try and make sure that she stayed away. she made the adult decision of, I'm going to decide this for myself. Right?
He's banging away on the drums, making a whole bunch of noise, and she's like, I'll try playing to that beat. And he's like, no. I'm doing this so that you guys stay away. Like, I'm making a lot of noise and chaos so that doesn't happen.
Right. But eventually he's like, okay, I'm going to respect this decision that you're making. The issue is that June is in a bad place right now. So now that threshold has been crossed, I don't know if he will be able to necessarily or feel like she even desires for there to be boundaries on his end, and she might not be, mature enough, experienced enough, whatever, to know what her own boundaries need to be. And because, since her parents are trying to be so controlling, like the potential concerns that they have that could be really helpful, of course she's not going to listen to that because they're signing her up to see a gynecologist and shit
to
like
potentially get some kind of a forced situation with it in case she's pregnant.
Yeah.
They could do all kinds of things, and that's the kind of thing that can get really traumatizing. So I'm very scared for Yurika, not because I don't think she'll be able to handle June, but because of the fallout of all the other stuff, situations that she's not necessarily prepared for.
And with Arita giving the letter,
it's
exactly. Oh God, is he going to disappear again after she's, made all of these sacrifices basically for him? And that that wouldn't be helpful.
Yeah, and I loved that we got this right now because it's the first time it's really relevant outside of maybe some June interactions with Sentaro, but because of how much Sentaro connected with June in the past, like before the show started, it wasn't really relevant to bring up until now when he sees someone doing the exact same thing where they commit so much of their life towards a thing that they weren't necessarily all about, or even seeing the consequences potentially of doing that, until June came in and interacted with them.
Right.
Which I really like because it was something that was so visceral of a response with June. We can fill in the blanks as to a lot of the details that were kind of left out of the backstory montage bit.
Yeah.
So, and I think it really aided the situation at understanding who he is.
Yes. And I love the fact that he dropped out of college was actually like yes, he did drop out of college. It wasn't that he got so wrapped up in things that like he, wasn't able to keep his grades up or something like that. And then he was, for what we could tell, he was managing to balance things, right? Yeah. But then suddenly this thing happened and it threw his internal state completely out of whack.
Yeah, he jumped into it as well.
Right. And then he made the decision to turn away, not just from the protesting stuff, right? But also from college, right?
Yeah.
I just need to completely rethink my life. And then probably as a result of that, because he blames himself for what happened to Arita and everything, he then goes into a downward spiral, and it's how do I get out of this, right?
Yep.
Who am I? What do I do? All of that stuff, right? Very confusing, very complicated, very painful. Yeah. And so...
But this is common, I would say, for a lot of kids that become adults, is that they end up hitting that point where they're like, oh shit, I'm an adult. I can make all my own decisions now. And I can get wrapped up in things that I'm not even necessarily wanting to decide for myself.
Sure.
But I love the idea of getting wrapped up in someone else's life in that way, where we then can, make music together.
Right.
And the awareness and I would say emotional maturity to understand that although you can deeply connect with a person, you are still your own person. And understanding, like you were saying, boundaries and stuff like that is something that most people, I would say, don't even learn once they become an adult. It becomes like, 10, 15 years after being an adult. And this is really cool to see Sentaro on the kid's side of things figuring this out as well, because the relationship he had with Yurika was all kinds of not
utilitarian and one-sided. And
it was very, very odd. So this cold splash of water in his face might force him to change.
Yeah.
But it also set him up potentially to become aware of the fact that there has been someone right next to him all along that loves him and cares for him deeply.
Yep.
And he, in some ways, always has loved and cared for her deeply, but never in that way, because in some ways he also resigned himself to, I want to be like June. I want to, I love June. Like that's the person that I'll be like and stuff like that. And June would absolutely be the person that would, go after oh shit. I just kind of liked the fact that Yurika always always was going to end up with June. Like that was basically like the second they interacted, it was like, ah shit, well that's what's going to happen.
Right.
But the more and more we learned how much Sentaro liked June, it was like, oh, this was also set up as well.
Sure.
Like,
yeah. It's the relationships are changing, right? In the same way that the seasons change and the times change and the music changes and the question is can you keep up with that change, right?
Can you keep up with it? Because sometimes
you got to take your hands off the keys and be like,
what's going on?
Yeah. I'm trying, but
I'm really wanting to keep up with you, but I have no idea what's going on. I really liked how the chain reaction events, though, kind of started almost in a weird way with fangirls going after them, but they were more going after Kaoru than Sentaro, which I kind of love, because Sentaro had an image of being the bad, big boy in this school before this.
Right.
But these are all first years.
Sure.
Not necessarily all of them, but the majority of them
probably would be.
Were making a point of senpai, give this to senpai, So they're first year, so they don't have an image of Sentaro. And yet, Nishimi or Kaoru, they see as being maybe like the cute, mysterious boy. Where it's like,
this is
what?
I wanna make a little comment on basically fangirl culture for a second.
Oh my god, yes, please do. We are perfect authorities in this matter as well. Yes.
But Kaoru was the shy, nervous kid, right? That people were like, oh, he's weird. He doesn't talk to people.
We typecasted him.
Right, we typecast him, right?
Yeah.
Going on little to no information, right? And now...
the second they see something slightly different.
The second they see something different and cool, they start drooling, because now all of that lack of information, well, we've got to fill in something.
We have to fill in the blanks of all this other stuff.
Like the class had been doing, not necessarily these students if they're first years, right? And, this is a whole new thing. But, now they just write in the blanks. It very much feels like the fan fiction writers that will be like, yes, these characters looked at each other, potentially a little intensely in that one scene in the one episode for 2 seconds. Now I'm going to write this whole ship, right? And extrapolate all of this stuff out from the silence, because silence speaks volumes,
Oh my
right?
God, it's so true. And the funny thing is that, like, as someone that has, consumed all kinds of fan kind of extra material for shows and things like that, and even created some myself back in the day. There's an aspect of this that is absolutely harmless and is totally fine.
Yeah,
but I
it's
do
entertainment.
I do find it to be, like you're saying, rather comically coincidental that this was particularly focused on Kaoru and not Sentaro.
Because Sentaro actually has personality that they can visibly see from the outside, right? Whereas Kaoru, because he's so withdrawn and introverted and everything, they don't really know.
They don't really know anything about him.
And so suddenly even if he was like a bit standoffish or whatever, they could, put all kinds of things onto that, even where they maybe even take some of the similar approaches that Yurika has.
I was going to say that!
We can fix him. I can get to know him, make him up, make him open up and everything.
Thank you.
Like
you read my mind. I was like,
and
is he gonna say it?
And this is why the Yurika stuff is really potentially problematic, right? She's doing this as a grown-up adult decision, right? So you go, girl. I'm cheering for you that this will turn out well, but and the problem is that you
really don't know him,
right? You really don't know him that well, and the thing is that you also don't really know yourself. And this is an element of you getting to know yourself, because you're deciding what kind of person you want to be and everything.
Just be ready for the heartache.
Right.
Be ready for the heartache.
I was very excited, but also worried when she cut her own hair. I thought it was going to be something of, hey, let's clean you up. Let's get you back to that place where you had everything together. And maybe once you start looking like that, you'll start to remember how that felt. And then, it'll help.
Which is kind of, I would say, what the male perspective would be on this, that removes a lot of her agency, but then by her cutting her own hair, we're like, oh yes, right, yes,
but also, oh no, because now it's something where you're basically saying, yeah, I could be helping you here, but it's also the potentially, I will join you here, right? And again, I hope this goes well for you.
Right,
but
this is the thing, separating out the meta knowledge and I would say kind of the idea that we have a decade of experience on this fictional character, at least, is the idea that we look at this and go, I know how this is going to end. This is not going to end well.
Sure.
But on the second level, if you look at her heart in this matter, it's pretty sincere.
Oh yeah,
it's
totally.
pretty genuine. And this is something that I think is really wonderful here, is that she's in trying to cast off the princess image, which I never really got that from her. I feel like that was something that people attributed to her when her desire was not to propagate that.
Right, but I think it was again like a similar thing to like Kaoru, for instance, of because she looks a certain way, she's got the beautiful long silky hair and everything, and like, you know, all of that stuff. People attribute it to her, and it hadn't been enough of a problem that she felt the need to really cast it off. Right?
Well, no one wastes their time thinking about the way other people think about them when they're not around. No, really. Like this is the kind of thing where if you were seen as like something like like I'm gonna use an example from my past then. If I was seen particularly as like a kind of like a kind person, basically.
Yeah.
Like I think there was probably one of the most positive things people would ever really kind of attribute to me in any kind of like. There were negative things that people attributed to me, but this was a thing that people attributed to me in large quantities from large different groups of people. I never felt any kind of desire to, I'm going to cast that off and like ruin that image of me because like I resented it or anything like that. And there were times definitely where there was like, oh, I wish that people would say other things about me. But the idea that I would actively then do that for them? No. The only reason why I would do that is primarily for myself. If there was something that I needed to do that. So that's why I think that this decision that she's making there is not for them.
Oh no, yeah,
it's
there. Totally for herself because it's the I don't want to basically feel restrained and restricted by the pretenses that other people have about me, or the preconceptions that other people have about me, and in the case of my parents, but they're actively trying to push on me.
Well, yeah. I just think it's more specific. I don't think it's the general group of people or what have you.
It's her parents in particular.
No, it literally is either her own thoughts about herself that are reinforced by that.
Okay.
It might have originated from the way other people talked about her, but it's specifically for
the parents.
June. June.
Oh,
no,
right.
It has nothing to do with her parents.
Right, because
her parents. She obviously didn't care about what they thought about even before then anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. It's the thing of he's basically right, because it's something where, and this is the
he literally pulled the cigarette out of her mouth. That look doesn't suit you.
Yeah,
and she was just like
taking away her agency, not respecting her decisions. Yeah. And so she needs to make it so that it's like no, you can't actually treat me as an equal here. Right. And so I'm gonna make these decisions in particular.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like the thing that I'm worried about now is that when it comes to Ritsuko and Sentaro and Kaoru, is that now that Ritsuko has started to crush on Kaoru and admitted it to herself enough that she started knitting something for him, right? If it was just like, potential attraction, right? Rethinking things because all the girls at school seem to like him, that seems like something that could pass in a day, right? It's just,
totally.
Am I still sure that I don't see this guy that way, right?
Right.
But no. She's actually starting to like him.
Yep.
Now that Sentaro knows that she likes him, or at the very least liked him, right? If he ends up basically wanting to respond, reciprocate, whatever, and it could come from any sort of place, right? Whether it's because he cares about her a lot, so he doesn't want to just be completely dismissive if she likes him that way, but it could also be something where, he's hurting because of stuff that's going on, and then theoretically he could end up doing the same thing to her that Yurika did to him.
Right.
Not necessarily the exact same way or whatever, but it could if he's not careful, it could come from that same place of emotional hurt, right?
Possibly.
And that would really suck.
It would.
But yeah.
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
The
friend of Ritsuko's, who was like, be honest with yourself. When she sees someone walking on the other side of the wall, and she's like, I'll be right back, or I gotta go. You know who it is? It's the dorky, nerdy kid with the glasses.
Oh my god! Okay, if she actually,
it's literally him. Look right there.
Yeah.
You see him.
Okay,
and then she goes like, blushes, and then she's like, sorry, I'll be back.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's the dorky kid that was sitting next to Sentaro.
I love that as the little like twist of just all the girls are fawning over Kaoru, and no, it's the dorky kid. Yeah. That would be amazing.
Isn't that just wonderful? I mean, it might not be. It could be just a completely different character.
Yep.
But the frame through the window and the glasses and the hair and all that, it looked very similar. Because that
would be hilarious.
Yeah, I think that kid was even voiced by Deku. Like I think it's really Deku's voice actor.
Well, and he did play with the band, I think. Before Sentaro and Kaoru started playing.
Wait. Actually, I think you're
maybe
right.
not. Like he might have been one of the people that like helped manage it. But if he did, that would be a clever way to hint how this ended up happening, why it changed all of a sudden. Is that maybe before they started playing, she was like, oh, she saw
it is.
Yeah. So maybe she saw him performing and was like, oh, he's pretty cool, you know.
He's really cool, yeah. And then, everyone else is going after, Kaoru.
Right. Yeah, everyone forgets about their performance, but she remembered, right? It was magical. It was awesome.
She's like, I'm going to go slightly off meta, so I'll actually have success here.
Buy low, sell high. But
no, it's not that. It's not that shit. It's that if everyone is going after a main member of a group,
right?
That means that group is going to splinter because there's going to be all this affection and interest going certain ways.
Yep.
But if she's like, yeah, but did you hear that guy shredding the guitar? Like,
yeah, that was really cool.
That was really cool. And I had never known that side of him. So sure, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I am very excited to see that like get confirmed in the show. I would love that.
It's literally him though.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. But I want to see it happen,
Watch, he's the only one that gets a happy ending as far as like a very simple they end up together and it's just like when they're all like in their 20s or something,
I think Kaoru and Ritsuko are going to get a happy ending eventually.
Oh, really?
Eventually. Now, with the way that this has been developing,
I don't know, man.
But we have plenty of episodes to have lots of pain along the way.
Sure. Yeah. We do.
And
we do.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's almost better if no one of the trio gets together and then they can all then have that moment where they remember when they were kids on the slope.
Well, see, because there's the part of me that's thinking there's a good chance that Sentaro could like something horrible could happen to Sentaro and he could be like removed from just
this isn't your lie in April, man.
I'm
not gonna have
I hope not
pixie dream boy get shot
damn it,
and killed in an alley,
I can't.
Jacob, I can tell you with the my gut soul certainty is that Sentaro will survive this show.
The fact that that was just like protest
I will eat
stuff,
my shoes.
not mob, deaths or anything like that. That does make me very, very like.
Yeah. June has a much higher likelihood of dying.
Oh, sure.
Or being removed from the story in a hard, serious way.
Yeah, he gets injured so he can't play again.
Or he gets thrown in jail.
Or thrown in jail or whatever. Yeah, it's like... Yeah.
That's where I think his bad ending, his worst ending could be. Mm-hmm. But no, I think Sentaro's worst ending is he ends up alone. And it's not that he ends up alone in terms of romantic stuff, because I really don't feel like this is a show that's going to be about who ends up with who romance-wise. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is a part of it, I think, that could be that.
You can't have a story about music without having love in there
but
somewhere.
I think it's going to be the story about them becoming adults and then looking back on that time as kids with this fondness, because even though all this drama and chaos is happening, it made them into the people that they become.
Basically. It was a great jam.
It was a great jam, exactly. Yeah. So let's do it again, and then they'll cue credits, and it'll be
over. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.